Hello, hello, hello again, my little Luxes. Welcome back to another episode of Charsie Charms. Charsie Charms. Charsie Chats. Well, hey, we're gonna just mix luxxycharms and Charsie Chats to... What did I say? Charsie Charms? Whatever. Welcome to another whatever the hell I want to talk about. I am your host, cosplayer Charsie Lux, and yeah, exactly how I just stated, that on my Charsie Chats episodes, I basically will talk about anything and everything, or maybe just to discuss something, to get something off my chest, or I take suggestions and we'll talk about those subjects that maybe everybody has something on their mind. So my buddy Mikey had brought another subject idea to mind, and I want to bring it forward before I start doing, well, I mean, I've been doing a little bit of research in that, but it's like, we can talk about so many different topics. Or, well, what the idea was talking about toxic fan base, or just toxic super fans, and how much these stans will devote themselves to these people that they'll develop a parasocial relationship with, and just how scary those situations can be. So I wanted to kind of just bring it up on this Charsie Chats, which I think this is episode number 12 already, so hooray, look at us go with these different new ideas. But I wanted to bring it forward, just like suggestions from all of you. Like, let me know some toxic fan bases that you've seen unfold in social media, or things that have happened on Twitter or Instagram, or even on YouTube, TikTok. Just some of the insane things that happen. And I'm gonna bring up one right now where it's a really good example of just how insane some of these fan bases can be. And I've said him multiple times on my channel already. I absolutely love and adore Peter Mon, and his videos are so raw and vulnerable, and he talks about sobriety and just the joys of his life and what wisdom he has in the certain subject matters that he's talking about. And he talks a lot about just drama commentary, especially when it's involved with the beauty space. And I brought it up a while back when I first brought him up, and I talked about the fact and the scariness between stalkers, just the creeps that take it way too fucking far, and they literally start stalking you. So I won't be linking her name in this video whatsoever, because I don't want to deal with her toxic fan base or anything. But there is a YouTube creator who's been on YouTube for like 16 plus years, and her name is Trisha Paytas. Trisha has been, like I said, on YouTube for years, so you might know or recognize the name, but she's also been a very problematic person as well. She's been doing better as of recently since she had her daughter Malibu. She's been miles better than she has been, and she has tried to apologize for some of the things that have happened in the past. Granted, she could go way more in depth with her apologies. We've all made our mistakes in the past, and we all have our regrets, but it's one of those things where, what do we learn from those past situations that, like I said, everybody fucks up. None of us are perfect. When it came to the fact that Peter Mon would talk about Trisha Paytas on his channel, because she was a part of that beauty community space, and he would literally state when she was messing up and doing things that were not okay, like she was mocking the trans community and stuff like that. She was mocking different religions. Like every week she was a different religion, and people were like, this is kind of a mockery to people that actually do celebrate these religions, that people kept trying to discuss with her and tried to make her realize, hey, what you're doing is actually offensive, like, hey, maybe tone it back a bit. And she didn't really address it for the longest time, until recently she's kind of addressed it a little bit and has apologized for, but I mean, obviously she could do a little bit more in depth I mean, nothing is as bad as the Colleen Ballinger ukulele not apology, because it's not an apology. But anyway, when Peter would bring this up, there are several super fans of Trisha Paytas's that would get on his account and would just harass him, mock him. But the other problem that comes with Peter Mon is that he uses his real name. He states exactly where he lives, and people would go on his vlogs and would study him, and these crazed fanatics that were these Trisha superfans started calling Peter's doctors, started calling Peter's veterinary offices, started calling his family members, his friends, the places that he used to work, because in his vlogs he would talk about the places he used to work. They would literally call his ex-employers to get information on him, and found his address, started doxing him and everything. Just this insane shit that people should not be doing, all because he was doing commentary on Trisha Paytas and her actions that she was doing that he just wanted her to take accountability for. So this is a perfect example of just toxic fan bases and how far they can take it, and just how extreme and scary it can be at the same time. Because let's face it, Peter to this day still deals with these harassers and stalkers, and he's a huge example of why I am very careful about how much I share on here. And it is also sad because now I've learned that when it comes to my vacations, if I'm on vacation, you won't know until after I come back. Like my closest friends in that, I will probably DM them and let them know where I'm at, what I'm doing, and the fun that I'm having. But everybody else, you're not going to know until after the fact, until I'm back, because once again, with Peter, there was that example with those crazed people stalking him. They saw his Airbnb when he was on vacation the one time and he was uploading it, and I think he was uploading it in a vlog, and immediately they started looking through photos of the city that Peter was visiting, and started going through all the photos through Airbnb, since they knew that's what Peter was using, and found the house that he was staying in for his vacation, and literally went and just started harassing him. I mean, what in anybody's right mind makes you think that that's okay? And the only reason why he knows for a fact that his stalker, which he thinks that it's maybe 3 different people, he's like, he can't tell if it's one person pretending to be 3, but he flat out said that the only time that he gets the harassment is any time that he posts a Trisha Paytas video on his page. And he flat out even said, he goes, it's to the point it doesn't matter if it's a glowing positive message to her or if it's something that's negative. Either way, he gets this harassment from her super fan. So he knows it's involved with her, because he flat out said he can talk about anybody else and he doesn't have to deal with the weird craziness until he talks about Trisha. And all of a sudden it blows up on him. And it's just, I can't imagine that. So I want to talk about this. This is a very important subject to talk about because, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes people do take things a little too far and a little too overboard. I mean, I even had the example on here that I talked about in one of my Charsie Chats. I think it was the 5th one. Either the 5th or the 6th one, but I was talking about the one guy that was following me around, and I had him blocked on Twitter, and he followed me here on YouTube. Which, thank God I did do that post, because thank you to everybody that came and told me that, oh, hiding them from the comments is the same as blocking someone. So yes, thank you for letting me know that. Because before you could just hit it and it would say block. Now it was saying, like, hide them from the thing. So technically that person can still see and look at your videos. So I mean, I don't agree with the fact that it's not a direct block. You should still be able to block somebody. So that's still kind of weird, but whatever. But one of the other things that I was also going to bring up in talking about this further, once doing some research, getting some more ideas from the rest of you, like what are some toxic fan bases that you can remember, and how far do some of those people take it? And this could just be a revolving door of different toxic fan bases that I can explore and talk about. Try and be careful about too, because last thing we need is somebody coming on here and harassing us over this. But that'll just prove just how toxic it is. I'm a little tiny channel, and if it upsets people, it's going to be interesting. We'll go with that. It's going to be interesting to see. But one of the examples I was going to use was what ended up happening to my poor buddy Mikey when we were all together and we were watching the Babadook for the last drive-in. And he had the thing happen to him that I actually saw happen to my friend Dusty as well, was that anybody that says that that kid in that movie is annoying, out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, everybody comes out and they start in with this whole dog pile of, you're an ableist, you're a terrible person, and Mike was just thrown under the bus just for saying something simple, that this kid was annoying, which, if anybody watches anything from the special bonus features from even the director himself, they flat out say that the kid is supposed to be annoying. Like, you're not supposed to be happy about this screaming child. And it just was so weird for people to attack Mikey over such a simple comment. He wasn't calling the kid names. He wasn't using that R word that we're not allowed to use anymore. He didn't use any form of degrading the kid. He just said that he was annoying. And the kid is annoying. It still blows my mind every time I've seen somebody, if you're watching the Babadook, and if you say the kid is annoying, you just get dog piled on, and that shit is weird. I can understand if somebody was saying something really crude and really mean about the kid, but the kid's annoying. Let's be serious here. The kid's annoying. And it's okay to say someone's annoying. And it's also to remember, this is an actor. That kid is an amazing, amazing actor. He does that role well. Like, so good. So I'm giving credit to the actual actor, the actual kid himself, on how well of a job he did, because he was supposed to be the annoying, screaming kid in the film and drive his mom batshit crazy and up the wall. And he did an amazing job at it. So it's just so weird that something so simple, and that's a perfect example to use, and the fact that there's no reason for anybody to just dogpile on somebody for a simple comment, or even a simple joke. I've seen that happen in the horror community themselves, where it's like, I've seen way, way offensive, horrible jokes, and people just brush them by, pay no mind to it. Where I have an example with a friend that only about a year ago posted a joke that was a harmless, horror-related joke, and he got thrown to the fucking wolves. And I'm curious to reach out to him to get permission from him to even talk about this subject, because that just showed how horrible and toxic some people can be, where people who were his actual close friends that he talked to every day just threw him under the bus. So yeah, I think it's really important to talk about these kind of subjects and toxic fan bases. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below, like, examples that you have of different toxic fan bases. I mean, we can go like a revolving door. Once a month I could bring up a different one, because I mean, let's think about it. There's The Simpsons have toxic fan bases. The drama community itself has some very toxic fan bases, and I know in the horror community we definitely have some as well. So yeah, just some suggestions, and if you think this is a terrible idea and it's just gonna blow up, just let me know too. But thank you once again for joining me here on another Charsie Chats. And if you would like to follow me on my other social medias, please come follow me on my Twitter or Blue Sky for Charsie Lux with 3 X's, or on my Threads or Instagram for Charsie87. And I recently found out why I can't use Charsie Lux on Instagram or on Threads, because it's in connection with Facebook or Meta or whatever the hell you want to call it at this point. They don't allow 3 consecutive letters in a row. So if I just did Lux with XX, I'd be fine. But I can't have that 3rd X there. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So that's my 2 cents on that. I flat out said that I would love to do a Charsie Chats talking about just how annoying it is that we have so many social medias now. Like, I'm brain dead. I'm burnt out. I'm seriously burnt out from all the social medias. Like, I want to get rid of some of them. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those where it's too much. It's too much. It's like, I want only a few platforms to be able to put stuff up. And it's like, I get it, because not everybody has Twitter anymore, so it's like, I want to have the Blue Sky and the Threads, but the problem with Blue Sky and Threads is, well, Blue Sky is still in beta, so there's that issue, and then Threads technically should still be in beta, but it was Zuckerberg who, because when Twitter started doing its thing by having a limit to how many posts you could see or post, that they used it as an opportunity to have Threads come out, but it's not ready. It is nowhere near any, I mean, they don't even have hashtags working. I mean, that tells you right there, they're not ready. Anyway, that's enough of that rant. We'll save a better one for maybe the next time or the following time. I mean, obviously, I would love to hear your thoughts on everything. And what was the other important thing? Now we have my Patreon, so please come become a member on my Patreon, because your support helps me to grow as a better cosplayer and storyteller, and helps me to be able to build better content for the future of this channel. So please come join me on Charsie Lux with 3 X's on my Patreon. And remember, I am in the afterlife of the party, and I would love for you to come join me in the afterlife of the party. And always remember to slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Because in the end, all we truly have is ourselves. Until next time, my little Luxes, I hope you have a luxxycharms kind of day. Bye!